Okay, guys, it is day 2 of Vogue Knitting, and I'm doing something a little different today. I have 3 ladies with me that I'm going to introduce to you, and I'm going to let them tell you about what they have going on. They are all Indie Dyers, and they are getting together, and I'm going to introduce you to them. You guys ready? Okay, ladies. Hi.
Hi.
I don't have to introduce myself. We've all met. This is all about you guys. I just explained to my audience that I have 3 Indie Dyers here that are doing something together that I think is really special, and I want you guys to explain. So I'm going to start to my right with Kim. I want you to tell us who you are, what you do, and then we'll do all the introductions, and then we'll come back and you guys can tell us about your project. Everybody good?
Good.
Okay.
All right, I'm Kim Russo, and I'm from Kim Dyes Yarn. I'm the owner, dyer, do everything about it. I've been doing that for 10 years now, and I live in Virginia with my family. And this is my dream. I'm living my dream.
If there has to be a dream, it has to be lived. I love that. Okay, next.
So I'm Jean Stevenson from
Hi,
Destination Yarn. Hi. I've been doing this for 10 years as well. I live in Cleveland, so I'm a dyer from Cleveland. I used to be an architect. That's like my background and my training, and that still, I think, comes through in my work. That's my whole thing is that I translate places into yarn.
Okay.
So when I'm developing a new colorway, I spend a lot of time like looking at that place and figuring out the feel of that place.
Okay.
I try and put that into the yarn. So,
Okay.
And I love doing this. So,
Nice. Well, nice to meet you. And ma'am.
I am the owner, operator, head dyer, only dyer of Lola Bean Yarn Co. I live in Grovetown, Georgia, with my family and my bean, my boys. I've been doing this for, it feels like 100 years, but it's only been 5 years, and I love what I do most days.
Most days.
Most
Okay.
days.
All right. That's a good start. Okay, that's a good start. That's a good start. So I understand there's something that it called Stitch 3 together. You guys want to tell me about that?
Well,
I think you should
Last
explain.
year-
It's your baby come to fruition.
okay, well, last year at Vogue, I got this hairbrand idea that I thought it'd be kind of fun to do a book of patterns that would feature my yarn, indie dyed yarn.
Okay.
And then I thought, well, that's a lot of work for someone who's already working a lot, you
Okay.
know? So I wanted to have some friends do it along with me so that we could share the workload and then get other minds involved to make sure it turned out great. So then I said, who around me is serious about their business, makes beautiful yarn, they're my friends, we can work well together. And so I asked Jean and Adela, do you guys want to do this crazy idea with me? And they didn't even hesitate. They're like, yes.
Okay.
So-
If you got to do it, that's the way it's to be
right. So
done.
then we started working on it, and it's been a year.
Okay.
Yeah, a
Okay.
year-long process.
Very good. So, Jean, tell me why you said yes.
Well, writing a book is something I've wanted to do for a while, but
Okay.
it's such a huge undertaking, like to collect that much information, patterns, and the photography, and honestly, I was looking for a challenge. I wanted something new creatively, and
Okay.
this was a great way to do it. And just there's so many patterns out there. I wanted to find some really special ones for us. So.
Okay. So we're going to come back to that. Hold that thought about the patterns. So what have made you decide to join Adela?
I think that, especially when it comes to women in business, there can be a lot of cattiness. There's always this drive to compete against one another versus working together and sort of like uplifting each other. And I think this was a great way to show that women can uplift each other, work together, and put out a phenomenal product.
Love
So
that.
that
So
was-
I love that the title is Stitched Together, Stitch 3 Together. I've always said in our industry or our community, especially with the climate, with the diversity and the inclusion, that term Stitch Together is what I think we all have in common, that common thread. So in you guys' case, the common thread is the dyeing. And just for me just briefly glancing, you all have different dyeing styles. So how do you feel like your style of dyeing contributed to the overall project? We'll start with Adela.
Oh gosh, it's a loaded. How do I feel it contributed?
Well, I will say one thing we did take into consideration when looking at the patterns that we wanted to put in the book. We wanted to make sure that it would highlight all different kinds of dyeing styles. You know, we have things that work well with speckles, tonals, more variegated. We just and different weights, and we just wanted to make sure that it kind of covered all those important aspects, so that when our customers are looking for yarn to work with these patterns, they would easily be able to find it.
And we put that in the publication too, the like yarn equivalents. So like if you're using this from Kim's yarn, that'll work with this from my yarn, this from Lola Beans. So that way, you know, we tried to make it easy to substitute and play with all our different yarns.
Yeah,
I like that.
So sometimes, you know, some publications maybe look a little homogenous, like they all are geared towards one style of dyeing or yarn kind, and so we kind of have a good blend, I think.
Yeah,
It's like the sweater.
Yes. Yeah.
We didn't even plan that.
No, we didn't.
We like sent in like 3 yarns, and
well, it was 3 yarns that you bought at Vogue last year.
Yeah,
They
that's
were
right.
yarns
I
that
had,
she was.
I had 2 of their yarns that I had gotten at Vogue last year.
Yeah.
We were talking about what kind of colors we wanted to do for that project, and I was like, "You guys, just hold on a second." And I put them
We're
all
talking about the
together.
Run the World sweater.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Run the
yeah,
World.
yeah.
So I put the 3 together, and I said, "Look at this,"
Yeah.
you know. And
Yeah.
so the 3. It was
Well, and
just-
we needed a picture of all 3 of our yarns to like start making flyers and promotions, and you like
Yeah.
laid them out, and you're like, "Whoa!" We're like,
Yeah,
"Yes,
that was
that."
Yeah,
So
it was like meant to be that way.
Yeah.
Good, good. So let's talk about the patterns. How did you guys decide on the designers? You want to start with?
Well, I don't know. Do you want to take that one? Or do we decide
Well,
on the
initially we
designers?
started by thinking about our friends that we had worked with before, whose work we had seen, that we admired, and that we thought, you know, we want to work with them, because part of our mission was to make sure we're paying our. We want to make sure that we're paying our designers, we're paying everyone we work with in this publication what they're worth.
Yes, absolutely. That was one of the key
Yes.
things with this, is that we were always going to pay not just the designers, but the photographer, the tech editor, everybody along the line.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
because we're all talented, we all deserve to be paid what
That's
we're worth.
right. Yeah. So we didn't want to, you know, make them feel like they needed to shortchange themselves.
No, absolutely not.
Right.
No.
So yeah,
really
so
important.
we started this issue by approaching those people and saying, we're doing this project, we'd like you to be a part of it, this is what we're looking for, can you do it?
So did you guys have a style of pattern in line? Did you know that you wanted it to be all accessories, or you wanted it to be across the board? Did the skill level of creating the pattern matter? Like, did you consider those things?
Sort of.
We did,
Yeah.
We kind of laid out a map of the
Of
types
what
of
we
projects
wanted,
we
yeah.
wanted,
Okay.
and we wanted to make sure that different yarn weights were represented.
Yeah.
Okay. So now let's give the people some details. It's Stitch 3 Together, so they can find that at stitch3together.com. How many patterns are available?
There's 6 different patterns, but 2 of them are a hat and cowl set.
yeah.
So
So it's
Okay.
actually like 8 patterns.
yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And where can they get the patterns?
On Ravelry or at Stitch 3 Together, there's a link to the book, like the full ebook.
Okay, so it's an ebook.
Yep. You
Yep.
can buy the patterns individually.
That was my
or
next
you
question.
Can purchase the ebook.
Okay. And how much is the ebook?
Well, we're going to load up the ebook
Yeah.
after the show's over, because we're having issues getting it uploaded on the hotel Wi-Fi.
Okay.
Once we get back home,
Yeah.
we'll get
Yeah,
the ebook up on Ravelry. So the patterns individually are $8, or you can buy the ebook for $32.
Okay. Okay. Fair
And
enough.
If we can look back to the designer, something
Yes.
that was important to us that I think was really cool that we did was we didn't just reach out to like the most famous or the most well-known or the most like established designers. We also picked some people that were up and coming.
Okay.
Because we thought that was important too, to
Okay.
give opportunities to people that.
Okay.
Because this is really about us making our opportunity.
Yeah, exactly.
Women, and we also wanted to be inclusive, and this is something I wanted to
Yes,
touch
that's
on.
right.
Okay.
Where we did reach out to January, right?
Right.
It's been a year.
Right.
We know about the explosion when it comes to like BIPOC being recognized and included in this industry, and it's gonna sound insane or a little crazy, but every last one that we reached out to was like either busy or because
Right.
it's our time.
Correct.
So I do want to mention moving forward, look for more brown faces,
Right.
and black faces,
Right.
and because we are very serious about diversity and inclusivity.
Okay.
So I wanted to mention that.
Okay.
Plus, I also think a few people were like, "What is this? We don't know."
They were a
this,"
little
you know.
scared. What are
Right.
you talking about?
Right,
So
right,
hopefully
right.
Next time around, they might feel a little more comfortable.
We maybe weren't as confident too. I mean, we were, but we weren't like,
Right.
we've never done this before, so
Yeah.
Well, it's the first time for
Yeah,
everything.
exactly.
You could be starting a trend. It can be the annual.
And now we're dyers and supermodels.
Dyers and
I struggled
supermodels.
with
So let's talk about that part.
You guys were so good.
Let's talk about that
Yeah.
part. So I've seen the pictures, and I recognize that you guys are modeling as opposed to the tradition of getting models too. So tell me, what was the train of thought behind that?
Real women.
Yeah,
Not,
exactly.
Okay, let me rephrase that. Not to say that other models aren't real women, but we wanted to represent. We have different races, we have different sizes, we have different shapes. This is
Ages, different, all of that.
this.
Yep.
This is us. It's not necessarily just what you're used to seeing traditionally in magazines. Not everybody's 5'10" and a size 2. We come in all shapes and sizes, and we're all beautiful and we all matter.
And it helps so much people to see the pattern on somebody who
Looks like
you.
that.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah, definitely.
A lot of
So
people appreciate the size inclusion.
absolutely, that was
Seeing
super
it
important to
on,
us as well.
all
Yeah.
sizes, all different bodies. They just love that.
Good stuff. So it sounds like we have a very good project here. I think it's going to be very successful. Have we sold anything yet?
We have.
We have, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a
Good
lot of the
stuff.
yarn to make the patterns. Which
Yes.
is
Okay. Well, congratulations, guys. I like the train of thought. I think it's fresh. It's a fresh idea. It's not the same thing that's been done over and over again. And I think the fact that what you pointed on, the transparency of it being you guys, right? Somebody can look at it and say, oh, I look like Adela. I could see myself in that, and I think people make decisions on patterns and things if they can see themselves wearing it. And I think you guys nailed that part of it. So thanks for spending a few minutes with me. I know that today is a busy day for you. All three of you have booths here. All three of you are selling your fabulous yarn.
Yes.
So have a fantastic sell everything today.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.